Okay, ready? Okay, we're on. What's this? Let me see this report is presenting. What's that?
You are screen share.
Never saw that before.
Stop screen sharing.
I want to screen share. Okay.
So everyone can see.
Okay, whatever. Okay. Okay, anyway, so let's go to the book. Ready?
I just really like this book.
What's that?
Really
It's an
like
awesome book.
So
Awesome
I think
book.
I'm gonna keep it always when we're gonna work
Yeah.
with Java.
Yeah, amazing book.
It's also good notes.
Okay, so you ready? So, how this is important because this is how when you pull data from the database, you can just stick it into these things called data structures.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but the reason why we're not going to go in depth with it is because in Android, which we're going to go into our main thing, Android has its own structures to put data,
Oh, okay.
but they work. The concepts are very similar, so you have to at least get the basics from this.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, from chapter 12 to chapter 15, it's how to build this instrument.
Let me see. I'll tell you that. So chapter 12 is GUI stuff.
Okay.
Chapter 13 is GUI again. Chapter 14 is saving objects, but we're going to use database anyways. The book just tells us how to save it to a file and doing some serialization. This stuff, we're going to do a database, and then Android we're going to have to deal with the different languages. So that's that. 15 is using the internet, but again, in Android, we're going to do it.
Find the project or your object to the internet.
Yeah. Like have an internet.
I did it one time with Android.
Okay, so then you know basics anyways, and you did networking anyways. So this is a breeze. But don't in this book we don't need to redo it so much because we're going to in Android some different anyways. So up to 16, and then 17 has to do with releasing your code for Java applications. You don't need to know that really if you're actually doing Android and sending with 18. So 16 is really the only one.
And 18.
18 also is the same type of thing.
How many? Ah, there's only.
Yeah, that's it. So the other one. It's good to know if you want to do Java, but 16 hours the chapter number. Okay.
I know you're gonna make $1 million in the next episode.
Amen. Even more.
Oh, more. Yeah, in the beginning, this is the first check, you know.
Okay, so let's go through some code over here. Ready? Just the easy way to go through some code.
Okay, what basically we're doing? How to pull from the database?
So it's not a database. We're just now putting into a list. So let me run this so you see at least what it's going to spit out.
What do you put in a list? The database?
Data, not a database.
Data.
Okay, so let's run this thing. This is Jukebox 1. Okay, so look, see what came out? It just puts out the names of the songs.
Okay.
Okay? Now, this song list is over here. If there's a song list of text, this is what's spitting out.
Oh my gosh, and then you make it to read it and oh no.
Okay, so it's reading the files. Oops, go back to that. It's reading this and then spitting it out.
Okay.
Let's go through this.
Yeah, line by line.
Okay, ready? So over here we have just one class, Jukebox 1. Okay? Let's go to over here. Here's the main part.
What is new jukebox.go?
What's that?
What is new jukebox.go?
So go is the method that over here.
Why?
Okay, we don't actually. I mean, right now we're creating we're creating an object of this class, and then doing go.
How do you know? Okay.
We don't need to name it. We could have done over here. You know, jukebox z equals new box, then press go. But this is a quick way in Java. If you don't need to ever reference it again, just do this, and that's fine. Okay. But this is not the important part. The important part you have to know is not even this. I'll do this anyways because why not? See, here's the file. Okay. If I look at my folder structure, here's chapter 16. Okay, so you see over here, chapter 16. Here are 2 text files. We're looking at this text file right now. So by doing file, new file over here, it's now going to be pointing to this file in the same directory.
Okay, so I take it from there.
Yeah. So now it's pointing to there.
Mhm.
All this stuff, this don't have to memorize at all because in Android it's gonna be different.
Okay.
We work to. I'm just doing this so you can whatever. Just for now you can understand what's going on.
Mhm.
Buffered reader is how we read from a file. So just
Buffer,
buffered reader. So now we're just passing the file and we're going to read from it.
this is the method.
The-
Buffer.
Buffered reader is actually a class,
Okay.
and we're making a thing out of it. And then over here, this is how you read through. This over here is all you have to know.
So while line.
So read line reads line 1. So if you open up the text file, read this line 1.
Okay.
And as long as there is a line, it continues the loop.
Okay. Line. Read line 1. Not equal to null.
Yeah. In other words, if there's something in there. In other words, by 8, it's null, so it'll stop the loop.
Okay. I understand.
Okay.
But yeah,
And this stuff
is a different way. It's how to read.
Yeah. This don't even worry about. The main thing over here is I want to show you about. So over here we have an array list of strings. An array list is a data structure. Why? Because you can stick in it a million strings.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if you're pulling from a database a list of names, you can put it into an array list of strings.
Yeah.
Right. So in the database you have name, and you have a million names in there. Pull it into an array list of strings, and boom! Now you can actually use it in your Java code.
Okay.
So you see over
So you
here.
have to do arrays.
One time.
You need to do an array list.
Yeah, that's one way to stick it in. Now, there's one thing I want to show over here that's interesting. So we do over here. If you notice over here, let's actually put some more stuff in here so you can see what's more clearly going on. Okay, this is the before the sort. Before sort. Okay. After sort.
What is it?
So look what happens now when I run this. Okay, so you see over here, it's not sorted.
What do you mean it's not?
PSSC.
Oh, I got it.
Over
now.
here it's C D L P.
Oh, I got it.
It's in order.
Like,
So-
how you hold it?
You do collection.sort and you pass in the list. Okay. Okay, so this is just one thing to keep in mind. If you want to sort an array list, do collection.sort and you pass it in there. Yeah, just focus on these lines over here. That's what you have to focus on. This is before the sort, this is after the sort. All I'm doing is over here doing collections and sorting the list. Okay? Okay, so here's a question that comes up. This is what I want to read. This is the main part of this book, this chapter that I want you to know, because this is the part you're actually going to need for Android. Is how does so these are strings, right?
Yeah.
That's fine, but we're sorting a list of songs. How does it know what the order is? What is it?
How does it know that the order?
Say a song. Like let's look at our song class. Here's our song class, right? Don't look at LD details. Just look over here that we have a title, an artist, a rating, BPM. When you do this sort over here, where are we?
Yeah. Sort.
Sort over here.
Yeah.
How does it know what to sort by? Sort by the name, the title, the band.
Song list. Go to the song class. Go to the song list.
Just make sure I'm doing something over here. No, forget about it. No, ignore it for now. Right now we're just making a string anyways. We're not using the song. Okay? So string is easy to sort because string, Java knows how to sort anyways. It's very easy. Just A is before B, B is before C. Okay? But now let's go to a more complicated example. Let's go back in the book for a second. Okay. Okay, so let's look over here for a second. There's basically 3 different types of collections. Collections are just a word of holding data. So An array list is a collection. You're holding a list of strings, or holding a list of songs, or a list of people. Okay? So look over here. This list, you're holding different objects, but notice that 0 and 1, the index, point to the same one.
Yes.
In other words, they can be duplicates.
You can duplicate.
Yeah, in other words, you can have a list, and I can have X and Y both pointing to the same person.
Yes.
And the list will have X and Y. It doesn't care that X and Y are really the same thing. They're pointing to the same object.
Okay.
So a list doesn't care if there's duplicates.
Oh, then, yeah.
A set does care.
What is that?
A set, we'll look at soon, will only allow you to put in,
1, 2.
yeah, so you put an X, and then you put in a Y, they're pointing to the same one.
Okay.
It just won't pop in there. And then we'll look at a map. A map is we would have, say I could put in, dictionary is a perfect thing in the map. If you look up in a dictionary, what do you look up? Look up a word.
Yeah.
Say you look up eyes. Look up eyes, and it says what eye means.
When it give you all the pages, that is the highest.
That'd be an index. This is
Oh.
Look, if I go to dictionary, look, let's go to dictionary. Ready? Let's look up the word. Let's look up the word. Ready? Dictionary. Let's look at the word. Yeah, let's hit this. It'll be perfect. So here's the dictionary. Ready? I'm going to put in a word, and this dictionary is going to get this program is going to look up that word and show you what's attached to that word.
What is it?
So if I put in, say, I, it looks up I inside the list. Oops, it's taking so long here. And it returns this. So this would be like over here. Ball 1 points to here. Ball 2 points to here. I could put I and it'll point to this. It's just another way of having a. You don't have to do it that way.
So if you say like I, then it give you all
The information.
Like it give you information about the ball.
Or the ball itself, whatever you want. We'll see soon how to make those.
Okay, I got you.
Okay? But so here's the real question. Let's open this code for a second. Let's open Jukebox 3. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so start this code again so we can see what's going on. Okay, so we're doing the same thing as before. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, so you see here's before it started,
Okay.
and here's after it started.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright.
Now, let's look at this file that is bringing in. Oops. Okay, so this one is bringing in song list 2. So that'll be this list over here.
Yeah. What is different the code? Like,
What?
The same, but it's the same code.
Different code. This is new code. I'll show you why. Look, first of all, you notice that I put duplicates in here on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay? And this time it's bringing the stuff in. When it reads through the lines, it's actually going to create these, a song object for each one.
Where? Go to the song.
I'll show you
is the
where.
Song,
Okay,
where is
so
the
look.
song class? How do you have the
Okay, so look over here, we're making a array list of song.
Okay.
Okay? In the first one, was an array list of string.
Okay. Got it.
Now we're doing a array list of song. Okay? And when we read each line, we're adding a song. You see?
That is song for each one.
This add song, what it does is it breaks apart
String line.
each of these into 4 pieces. So it would be creating title, artist,
Yeah,
reading, beats per minute.
How do you know like So but you have to make it in organ. Like first
Yeah.
one is title, second.
Yeah,
one.
and don't forget, we're never going to do this. We're going to have a database for our stuff.
Okay, yeah, but pink moon.
But it's the
is-
same idea.
Okay.
Okay, so Pink Moon would be this title.
Okay. I got it.
Nick Drake would be the artist. The rating would be 590, and the beats per minute (BPM) would be 1301. Okay, so it takes that and right over here it creates it. Okay, so now we have a question: how do you sort a song? A song is not a string.
But it's a song list. You get a song list.
Yeah, but what does it mean sort? What are you sorting on? Are we going to sort it by the string, by the art, by the title, by the artist, by the rating? Yeah, what are we sorting by?
Sorting by the first name that's considered, like, you know what I mean?
Which one? By this title, artist, or BPM?
What is pick the first?
When I press sort over here.
Okay, when you go downstairs, go down to the down. Okay, when you take 0, okay, what is take first of all?
Over here?
Yeah. First of
So
all,
0 would be the title.
So he's gonna think so. Title.
But it's putting into a song. This look over here. This is get songs. It just gets it has all the songs in a list. It's all in this list. So this song list is a list of songs.
But what is sort right now? Right now when you're running, it's sorted by what?
It's sorting by title. The question is why is it sorting by title? How does it know that?
Okay.
And I'll show you. There's no way you should know.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure that out again. Go back. So how? Show me the picture that I need to read.
Okay,
Figure out.
it's right over here. This right here.
Publishing compared to songs. Song S. Okay, you put song S compared to YouTube. So it's title compared to. So I know what it is. So basically, you had in each song there. Okay.
So this is the song job. This is the song.
Each object song, you take it inside and then you compare it, and you say that go to inside this object and get the title.
Right.
Okay. If it's return title and it's compared to get title.
Right. Okay. So perfect. You got it.
You get the title. So this is the title.
So
you had a method to compare. You had a method that take from every song the title and make sure that this is the title.
Right.
And when you make sure that this is the title, you run it.
So this over here, when it sort method behind the scenes will run a compare to.
So where the sort is? Where is the sort from?
Collections is by Java. They created.
But so why you show me this is what in Java?
Collections sort is Java.
Yeah, but how you connect? Okay, go to the song again.
So how does Java know? Okay, right over here. Good question. Comparable. When you say implements comparable interface, the interface of comparable says you must put this in there. No, you're good. You're good. You know what interfaces are already. Interfaces are just a thing to tell you which methods you have to write. That's
so
it.
when I had the implement, so the implement is like an outside object.
It's the implement is saying that we're implementing comparable. Comparable says you must have in here a compare to method. That's it. That's all it says. So sort knows when it hits your thing. Like for example, if I took this out, it would fail. If I took this out, it wouldn't even compile.
Okay. So when it's doing sort, so it's going through.
It's running this. It's going to take each. It takes this list and it does the compare to on each one with everything.
So when you're doing that sort, you know there is implement of comparable.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you take it out, so it's not going to sort good. It's going to tell me.
It will fail. They'll say, well, I don't know what to sort by.
So they connect to it.
Yeah.
Wow. How? I don't know.
You do. You just don't realize it. You do. Don't worry about it.
How is they interact with each other?
Because sort.
Okay.
You're passing a song list, right?
Song list.
Well, guess what?
But how is...
It doesn't think of this as a song list. It thinks of this as this.
How does it know that?
Because this is what it is also. Remember, implements means it is. This is song, but it also happens to be a comparable song.
Oh, okay.
That's what interface means.
So the collection work with the comparable song.
Yeah, it doesn't even think this is a song. It thinks this is a comparable song.
Oh, so
and this comparable song only has one method. This. That's it.
So it doesn't see everything.
It doesn't see anything else.
It
just sees this.
Okay, then wow.
You don't have to know this. Don't have to memorize
this.
this.
Now I can connect it.
Yeah, but now you just know how it works.
I still need to work on that.
Song list, you passing your song list,
Mhm.
it doesn't care about this aspect. It only cares that it's this. And this has only one thing compared to.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay? So for example, if I wanted to change the sort, I could just go over here and change it to, instead of titled to this, I could do artist, and it'll sort the whole thing by artist. Okay?
Mhm.
Now the rest of this don't memorize. All you have to recognize is this: is the idea that if you want to sort something in Java and it's not a string, it's an object, you have to tell the object itself over here. You have to make this method and say, what am I going to sort by?
Mhm.
In other words, how do we compare things?
Yes.
Okay? Good. That was tough stuff, so I'm happy you got that.
Yeah, I gotta need to use more practice. I know that basically when you doing that, and basically Java is to interact with each other. It's like codes that
Talk to each other.
interact,
Yeah.
talk to each other.
Yeah, and this is really the toughest chapter in my opinion. This is really the toughest chapter. Okay, last, almost done.
That's it.
No, almost done.
None with one.
Okay, let's run this one. Ready? This is Jukebox 5. Okay, so same type of thing. We have print without, right? Not sort at all. Print was sort based on the song compared to, like we did before,
Okay.
right? Does it? Now we're printing with sort by artist. One second. Let's do something later on, actually. Let me show you something before I do this. Much more simple example. That one. Where is it? So long. This one. Okay, you ready? Check this out. Okay, so there's a thing called a TreeSet, another type of collection object. Okay, a TreeSet, everything is unique. It won't allow you to put in two things that are not unique. If I put in x, if I say x equals regular, y equals regular, and z equals me, and I put them into a TreeSet, there'll only be two things,
Okay.
regular and me. Okay? But even more than that, it keeps it sorted. You never have to sort it because it sorts it by itself.
Okay.
Okay, watch this. Let's run this book compare test for a second. Look what it has. Oops. Okay. So here's book A, author Z. Book B, author X. Book C, author Y. Okay, so notice, don't look over here for a second. It's ordering it by the book.
Yes.
Book A, B, C. This one now orders it by the author. X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
And the books are out of order, but the authors are in order.
You just changed
Okay, well, watch.
21.
So what happens though if you want to? What happens if you have this song, right? Like, let's go back to the song for a second. So this song says this is the compare to, right?
Okay.
But what happens if you want to change it? What if we have code that says sort by title and then sort by artist and then sort by something else? How you can't?
So if you want to sort it by artist,
Yeah,
so we not change it, return artist.
you're right, but that's hard coding it. What if the same program wants to sometimes sort it by artist, sometimes sort it by title, sometimes sort it by rating?
So doing the tree thing, that is a link.
So I'll show you. But the tree thing that this let me show what the tree thing does.
So this is what you're doing, yeah?
Well, look, this is more complicated, and this is why this.
Yeah, I
chapter-
know it's more complicated.
Yeah. Well,
Let's say that thing.
Okay, so ready? Check this out. Okay, so here's a let's just look over here for a second. Ignore the top. Just read this, just from here to here. Okay, don't look at this.
String title, string color, public who.
Okay, so look, we have a string that says title, string that says author. This is a constructor that when you create it, it just populates it right away. Right? Remember constructors?
No, you're so funny. You like me, but. It's okay. How many coffees you drink today?
I had tea.
Oh,
Okay, so you ready?
yeah, this is a constructor that is building exactly when you run it, it's running. Okay.
Okay, and here's the compare to. So this compares by the title, so it'll order it by title
Mhm.
when I run a sort on it.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. This is just a print. When I print it out, it'll print out this.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Simple object. It's a book, has a title, author, and if I want to sort, it's going to sort by the title.
Mhm.
Guess what? you can make. Look at this for a second. Book, author, comparator class, a separate class.
The same name? No.
No, this is book, author, comparator. This is just the book.
Okay.
A teeny class. A teeny class. What does the class do? It has one method, compare. You pass in two books, and the same thing over here. You hear it compared by title, you tell what to compare over here. And this time we're going to compare it by author.
Yeah, but it's gonna do it all the time. So, but if you don't want to run this one and you want to run just
No,
the
so the
item,
cool thing about this is that you can pass in different ones. I can make another one called.
yeah, but all the time when you're gonna run it, it's gonna sort it. Go back to the
top. Okay, so here it is. Now you get to the meat of it. So you have one sort. The default sort is this.
Yes.
An extra sort, if you want to use,
How
is
can
this.
you choose which sort?
Okay, so here we go. So you have a TreeSet. Okay, so here's the books. We create book A, Z, B, X, C, Y.
Okay.
Right? A is the title of the book. Z is the author.
Okay.
Okay, that's easy. Now we're going to use a TreeSet just using the default compare to. Okay, so you create a TreeSet of books.
Yes.
Okay, add all the TreeSets to the book, and then just print it out, and then prints it out. So that prints out this, and it's ordering by the title because that's the default sort.
Yeah.
In other words, this, when you put something into a tree, automatically runs the compare to and knows where to put it into the tree.
Okay.
Okay, now we come to this part. So notice we have this line. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Now look at these two lines. Compare that to this.
Book article.
In other words, we first make a comparator, which was this, and we pass it into the TreeSet.
Okay.
In other words, the TreeSet says, okay, you pass this in. Okay, now I know when every time I add a book, I'm not going to run the compare to. I'm going to run this. And therefore, it's going to compare by the.
Go up.
Look at these two lines. I'll highlight them both. They're both the same thing, exactly the same thing, except over here we pass in a comparator.
What you want to compare. So
what would
basically,
we
when you're running the second comparison, this is what we really want.
Well, on both of them. This one,
but basically, you choose.
You can choose.
You choose that you want book or compare. If you because
I want to order it by the authors.
Yeah.
I can make another one. I can make a whole new stream called, weight size, and we can make another weight size comparator and order by weight size.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. The basic idea is that sorting in Java requires a little weirdness.
Well,
Okay, this is it. This is really it. That's the base. That's the main thing you have to know the chapter is this stuff. And again, once we hit Android has its own way of doing things. Same ideas, but they call it different things. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. You just get it now, the basics.
So this is chapter 16?
It's chapter 16.
So we don't need to read anything, nothing?
So
maybe tomorrow I'm gonna.
One last thing actually is a small, easy thing, and that's just showing you what a map is. So that's here's a map, and let's just run it. It just says here. Let's look at it for a second. So here's a map that has string and an integer. String would be. Let's look at this for a second. String would be the key, and 43 would be the value. Okay? Now notice, the duplicate values are okay, but not duplicate keys. So watch this. Okay, first let's look at this. So you're adding Kathy, and her score is 43. Bert, his score is 70-65, and Jake is 82. When I print out all the scores, it prints out this on the top.
Yeah.
When I print out get Bert, it doesn't return Bert, it returns his score. Just like the dictionary. Get I would return this.
Okay.
Now you don't have to use this. You can use your own way. You don't have to use a map. But a map is just one way of
to get something.
Looking something up.
If you put, I want to make a dictionary is what I'm doing. It's not gonna
dictionary would be a perfect
so basically
example.
It's give you what bird is.
Right. So you make a dictionary and you look at something, or I can make a I'll give you another example. It might be nice.
No, I did.
Dictionary is the most common example that everyone
Yeah,
uses.
I
You
got
look
it.
at by eye and you get the result.
Yeah,
But remember,
basically you want to see what is inside bird.
Yeah.
What is exactly bird? I don't know it's bird. I know eyes. It's eyes, but what is the meaning of the eyes?
So let's watch this. Let's do another one. Ready? So this is the score. Watch this. Say I put in scores, and I put in Bert again,
Okay.
and I change the score this time to.
You can have the same value, but not the same name.
Let's see what happens. Ready? Why so slow? Okay, ready? What was his value?
Bird 56, but where's the other bird? Super.
Ah, you see, because a tree map, these are unique, just like a dictionary. If I look up I can get different ones. So if you change I,
So
it
how do
changes
you
the
know
dictionary.
that why choose the last one and not the
Because
first
that's the
one?
last one they wrote to. So this would be like updating the dictionary.
Okay.
So maybe you made a mistake in the dictionary, you just go to here and you just put it in there again, and you're changing the definition of it. Okay, so that's a map. That's it. Okay, so the toughest part of this chapter is really this last one. This one I showed you here, the book compare test. The idea that you can pass in a comparator, and that was this over here.
When you pass compare, you choose this one.
Yeah, to compare by. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I need to show you. That's really it. Oh, one last thing. Sorry.
No, it's okay. That's fine.
Okay, and there's actually this one's important. Realistically, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how much times you use in your career. But okay, so basically, remember, there's object. Every object inherits from object, right? Every class.
Yes.
Right. So you look up, Java object class. So where's the object class? Okay, so here's the object class.
Like animal to canine.
So everything inherits from object, right?
Yeah.
So look, we did some of them, right? One of them was get class.
Yeah.
Running a class. Hash code we haven't done yet. Equals haven't done yet. These are very important. Hash code and equals decides what is equal. For example, don't look over here. Just this is way I didn't even look at myself. The point is that say I have. Let's look at this example. Okay. Ignore everything else, but say I have this object and this object. They're two different ones, but they have the same exact values, right?
Yes.
And I want Java to treat them as the same value, right?
Yes.
But they're not. So if I do x equals y, they're not going to be the same thing because they point to two different things in memory,
Yes.
right?
So how you make Java to treat
So
them the
you
same?
have to overwrite two methods, equals and hash code.
So you tell if it's this one, it's equal to this one, so
So-
hash code.
So basically over here, by the hash code, you base the hash code on whatever you want to be. So everybody will title the hash code and they'll base it on the title, and therefore the titles are the same. And equals, you again base it on the title. So if I want to say that this is a bad example because you don't want to just do that. If books are the same title, doesn't mean they're the same book.
Yeah.
But say you have a person created a certain character in the game, and in another part of the game it creates the character, the same exact one, but it didn't. It just created, it didn't make another reference.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen that often. The reason why it doesn't happen that often is because usually data is stored in a database. And you pull from a database, and in the database things are unique. You don't have to in Java start comparing things. Is it the same thing or not?
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
But basically, the character is the same, but the data is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that would never happen. Usually, if you have a character in your game,
But tell me something about next. Say if you play Call of Duty.
I don't really know the details. So
Okay,
maybe-
so like you have like this one. And this one. Okay.
yeah.
Basically, they're the same. The same. They look the same yellow, but
But they're
inside they're different.
Right.
Inside they're doing something else.
Right, so not the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's good.
But
That's,
they're
and
the
Java
same. Yeah.
So Java will not make them the same. That's good. You don't want them to be the same.
Yeah.
Right. But say I give you one example where this is used, just because we're gonna do this in SQL if this ever happens.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Say, say you call up a company, right? This happens. This is really a huge issue in companies. Say you call up, a travel agent, a big travel agency. And they ask you, okay, what's your name? You give them whatever it is. Give some details. And you want to go to Alaska and give you some details. Okay, and then you hang up and you don't call back for 4 or 5 months. Okay, but they store that stuff in the system. Then you call up from China, different number. Again, you call the company and they ask you, what's your name? How you doing? And you see later, wait a second, is that the same guy? So how do they know if that you is the same one? So do a match. If he matches the same address, he said the same name, the same number, he's the same person.
Yeah.
They're the same. So you use this type of stuff in the background. Oh, they have the same hair color, same thing, same number, same address. It's the same person. Let them be the same person.
So this is what Java doing, like compare,
but
like
be honest,
stuff.
it's a lot easier to do in SQL. So we're not going to deal with this Java.
Yeah.
In SQL, we're going to deal with that. We're going to much easier to do in SQL. It's data. When you were.
So you can allow you to let them know how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I never did it in my life.
No, in SQL.
I'm saying I never had to do this issue.
Okay.
It's called fuzzy matching.
But you know those things?
And that's the basic idea. That's the basic idea why they need it. Where I work, they have that issue, but it's not my department, so I have to do it. But the issue is, say you're a customer. I'll give you an example. Say you're donating money to a nonprofit like the American Red Cross. $100 is donated, right? And they have in the system. This guy donated $100, and they keep on sending letters.
Oh yeah.
And then say you're in Israel and you go ahead and donate money again, but you don't donate it. You called up the number, right? And they go, wait a second. Same name. Is it the same person who donated before? If it is, we have to restructure our strategy. We don't stop sending your stuff in America. Let's ask him if he moved, right? So they have to see it's the same guy. His name is the same. Let's see. His phone number is the same. Okay, must be the same guy. So the fuzzy matching is a huge thing for companies.
Make sure that you're gonna do everything to write code.
Yeah, that's basically it for now. There is a thing in here about generics, but that is super complicated, and we're going to leave it for when we get into Android and we touch upon it. That is it, man.
So that's it.
Yeah.